So the Odell Beckham Jr. being traded to the Vikings was kind of fun, huh? Right. So the rumors are fun for everyone. It is complete bull bleep season leading up to the draft. Don't believe anything that you hear at this point. But initially, I was shocked. So Diggs is gone. Then you go OBJ, sort of swapping out diva for diva, whatever. Hashtag cap is a myth. You got 12 million in cap. Half that goes to rookies. OBJ comes in, $14 million cap hit. You make it work. Rob Brzezinski, cap life, thug life, that whole thing. He could do it, right? You got to run for his team. Yeah, how is Zimmer and Cousins gonna mesh personality wise? OBJ winning cures everything. So if you win, you work out. It does everything. There you go. But he is a top 10 receiver. So initially, after I heard, I was like, huh. I was like, So if it actually did happen, frankly, I would be hyped. Obviously, it would be a big boost for the Vikings. Bring another star to the team. Yes, diva tendencies, but if you're winning, that just seems to go away. Like when the Giants were having peak Eli, peak Tom Coughlin, OBJ was fine, as well as him winning at LSU. It was great, right? Even though he had Zach Mettenberger as a quarterback, even though, I should talk right. But when you come across rumors like this, I mean, you have to separate what is actual fact and be intellectually honest and what is actually fiction, right? Is this a credible rumor, or is this just, typical sports media bored on a Wednesday, throw something against the wall and see if it sticks type shtick, right? That whole thing. So wanted to get all the current facts out and also suss through like what is important, what is not, what is credible, what is not. So I just want to be fair to everyone, just putting facts on the table. So let's go through timeline. So I'll start with freaking Brady Quinn, right? So Brady Quinn, former Browns quarterback, pretty boy, former Notre Dame guy, whatever. So he throws up just randomly the Odell Beckham Jr. trade in the CBS Sports HQ mock draft, whatever it was. So it was 22 for OBJ to Cleveland. So first off, no, not giving him a first round pick. Ain't going to do that, right? But you see that national platform, maybe it gets the rumor mill going. Maybe some people who know some people that, that sort of makes sense. Maybe OBJ, in fact, sees that as like, I would like that. Minnesota seems like they're going to win. I would like to go win. There we go. So Wednesday morning, Moose from WFAN, Moose and Maggie show, he tweeted this out. So as I reported this morning on sources told me that the Browns and Vikings are in discussions on a trade that would send OBJ to the Vikings for a second and fifth round pick next year. Trade is not done, but the deal is being discussed. So, I mean, okay. Just came out of nowhere, not completely sold, oddly specific, out of market dude dropping this bomb. Not a Cleveland guy, not a Twin Cities guy. I mean, that's fine. And yes, OBJ did play in New York. Maybe he's got some leftover ties there. Hell, maybe the source is OBJ himself. It's possible, right? But also, note, he said source. So single source, not sources. Generally, when one of the big NFL insiders break a story, it's sources say. So that really is important. That just a little bit of plurality. So again, is it OBJ? Is his agent just trying to, someone with an obvious agenda just trying to drum up a market? Sure, certainly one possibility. As well as another key phrase there was being discussed. That is another key phrase where, pretty Ricky Spielman may have just done a flyby, as I called the Browns and his boy Kevin Stefanski. Both of them had been in Minnesota since '06. He's like, hey Kevin, what's up? How you like Cleveland? How's Berea or whatever it is? How about a second and a future six for OBJ? And then Stefanski be like, no, click. That would count. That would count as being discussed, would it not? So, a couple things that led into like the about this rumor, this report. So, Moose, not known to be a national newsbreaker. This really did come out of nowhere. I mean, 99.9% of Vikings fans probably never even heard of this dude before today. It's fine. B, I mean, no national insiders on it, so no Rappaport, no Schefter, no Glazer. We'll get to Glazer in a sec. And then the local beat writers chimed in. So whenever it's anything like this, I always defer to the guys and gals that are in the trenches every single day, have close team sources, do the work, and just get it done, right? So Mary Kay Cabot, who's been a longtime beat writer in Cleveland, she tweeted this out. I received a one-word answer from a source close to the Vikings about the report they're talking to the Browns about for trading for Odell Beckham Jr. for a second and fifth next year. Quote, false, end quote. So there you go. And I'm sure she sussed it out with her Browns contacts as well, because if something was actually there, you don't think that she would have ran with it? Definitely would have, right? As well as this side of the fence. So our guy Doogie, He said this quote, someone asked him about the whole OBJ thing. He said, from someone who would be involved, quote, it's BS, end quote. I know Mary Kay Cabot and others have already said this too, Now, Doogie's as dialed in as anyone in the market. I trust his Viking stuff more than basically anyone, right? Yep. Vikings are Fort Knox, but Doogie does do the groundwork, does make contacts, does do all that stuff. So I 100% trust his work. Respect. There it is. So then it goes national, right? So you have, let's recap. So you have a New York radio host that no one's heard of. As a Vikings fan, just breaking this news, you have both beat writers from both markets chime in and say no, and then all of a sudden it goes national. So national poopster Colin Cowherd, he chimes in and he says, quote, the same source that gave me the Tom Brady to Tampa Bay story just texted me, Odell Beckham Jr. wants out. Also, that's a shocker, by the way. OBJ wants out of his current situation. That's just so weird. When has this guy ever been happy when he's been in the league? Probably never. So really going on a limb there. Oh, yeah, by the way, Jay Cutler's smoking right now. Yeah, just going on another limb there. But this is also what Cowherd said. Quote, he's been a good soldier. He's not going to make a big deal. He'll deny it. He wants to get along with everyone. Let's just say this. OBJ will not go public, but he knows Minnesota is a good place. He knows it's a good fit. All right, so that is very, very good hedging language. So if OBJ comes out and says, I want to trade, Cowherd can be like, aha, called it. But also, he's not going to make a big deal. He'll deny it. So when OBJ is asked about the trade, he'd be like, no. Then Colin Cowherd can be like, aha. It is like a form of like verbal judo, like complete verbal jujitsu. Like everything is just covered. All of your bases are checked. So no matter what, you win. It's a full-on Kobayashi Maru. Yeah, so Cowherd, prognosticator. Again, respect the work. Anyone who can do a national radio show every single day. It's amazing. It's really tough to do. But, I mean, he riles people up for a living. Like, what is the goal of sports talk radio or media in general? Get people pissed off. Yeah, just sort of make it half and half. Yeah, so you put out something completely controversial like this. Half the people be like, yeah. Half the other people be like, that is complete baloney. I don't believe it for a second. Either way, people are talking. That's what's important, right? So, as he said, so let's break this down here. So he said, same source as Brady to Tampa. So it is not an agent since Brady and OBJ do not have the same agent. Brady has Don Yee. So it is also not a team source because there are no similar teams involved. So it is likely an NFL insider. So this is either second or third hand information, which turns into a game of telephone, which is just okay. You've seen how that works. Also, Hurd, needs something to talk about, right? We're a week away from the draft. I mean, there are some draft rumors and all that stuff. Ooh. But you want something spicy. Like, the Falcons thinking about trading up for a cornerback. More at 7. Cool. Great. Grand. Wonderful. So, possibly ginning up a big story, making a mountain out of a molehill on some very flimsy info. Like, I don't see that being beneath big media. And I ain't mad at it. That's just how the game is played, right? Because it's unprovable. Again, trade happens, genius. Trade doesn't happen. They were talking about it. It just didn't work out. That's what it is. As well as the language he's talked about OBJ. He's not going to make a big deal about it. So, again, OBJ, I want out. There you go. I don't want out. Oh, there you go. I still win. I'm Colin Cowherd. There you go. But, again, this is how the rumor machine gets churned up, and then everyone thinks that they're seeing it everywhere because the aggregator echo chamber gets fired up. Everyone's talking about it and be like, oh, well, it's got to be true because everyone's talking about it. Rich Eisen is talking about it on a show, so he's obviously reporting it. No, talking about it and reporting it are two separate things, right? And also all the team aggregator sites, both Vikings and Browns, and also National, just like away. We did videos about it too, so we're not blameless either. We are part of the problem. Fully admit that. We are very self-aware about that. But also, here's the coup de grace. Here's the knockout punch. Here's the best part. So the fake Twitter tweets. Now, this happens during free agency. This happens during everything. Like, someone will get the Ian Rappaport, picture and then, change their Twitter name, but not the handle. So they put out something outlandish and everyone gets retweeted because they don't look at the handle or the check mark or whatever. Right. So at Mega Tough Scene tweeted out, breaking, the Cleveland Browns are trading wide receiver OBJ to the Vikings in exchange for 2020 second, third, and fifth via Jay Glazer. So many people commented on both on social media and on the videos like, well, Glazer said so. Glazer reported, Glazer confirmed it. There we go. It was really people just it was cognitive dissonance. Like people just really wanted to believe what they wanted to believe, right? And no, they were just like, oh, there we go. Very picking and choosing the facts. And also, but this is just sports. Like imagine if this was an actual real world story with actual real world consequences that actually mattered, but yeah, whatever. But Glazer, he even had to come out and say fake news. He said this, quote, "Be careful of the fake sites spreading out breaking news today, gang. Already saw a couple that have been retweeted, and they're full of don't retweet without looking at the handle." Amen. There you go. As well as people sort of bought into the Glazer confirming it, because Glazer for like a whole day has been hyping up, I got a big story when I'm going to return to my Fox football show. So people thought it was that. Ain't that. Yeah. So, again, what's the old saying? Yeah, a lie gets around the world before the truth even gets out the door. I mean, rumors are certainly analogous with lies in that analogy. But, I mean, people just want to believe it's so bad. I mean, OBJ to the Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins, awful play action. Not checking it down to CJ Ham, but chucking it deep to OBJ. Make a circus one-handed catch in traffic. Touchdown Vikings. Let's go. Let's go. Also, who's the last good Viking who wore number 13? Nobody. Numerology podcast coming soon. But again, people want to believe so bad that they're citing Colin Cowherd, who they would not believe on their best day. They're citing a New York radio dude who they've never heard of before this morning, and a fake Glazer tweet. Cool. I mean, come on. What court would convict with this evidence? Please. And also, by the way, tangent, but the trade compensation. Also, we got well-actually about this too. A second and a future fifth, whatever. It's fake trade compensation, whatever. So whatever. So, I mean, that's what you settle for. Like, unless you're Bill O'Brien, by the way. So that's what you settle for a top 10 wide receiver. You look at what the Vikings got for Diggs. You have to take out DeAndre Hopkins' Cardinals trade compensation because Bill O'Brien's an idiot. But, I mean, this is an opening salvo. Like, this is the first that anyone has ever heard of, like, tangible rumors about an OBJ trade this year. I mean, last year, it's certainly there too. But, Antonio Brown was rumored to be traded for almost a year. And then Pittsburgh settled for a 3 and a 5. So when you can't build up a market by, leaking this info, here we go, here we go. That's what you settle for. That you settle for a 2 and a 5. That's not what you lead with. Like if no steam about your trade gets out, and then all of a sudden it comes out that you trade him for 2 and a 5, you just completely ruin yourself. I mean, leak info, get a bidding war going. You do not settle for a 2 and a 5 out of the gate. You might even get a 1 for OBJ at this point, right? So, but Vikings fans, they went with this. It's pretty well half and half. Half the fans wanted to do it, half the fans didn't want to do it. It's pretty normal thing for fans, right? But the fans, if you wouldn't trade a 2 and a 5 for OBJ, you obviously wouldn't want to win. Well, yes, you would. I mean, obviously, it's such a one-sided trade. You'd be stupid not to do it. They can make it work with the cap. Who cares if they're going to be a run-first team? Who cares about personality? It would work out for that little trade compensation, especially since the Vikings have 12 freaking picks this year, right? But also, it's unrealistic. It's sort of getting on a soapbox for no reason. It's like, if you wouldn't trade a 7th-round pick for Pat Mahomes, you obviously don't want to win, and you don't deserve to win. Thank you, yes. But also There's truth to every rumor crowd. Yeah, that one. Here's my rumor. Sources tell me that your mother's a hooker. A very cheap one. Yeah, more at 11. All right, so there you go. A little bit of truth in every rumor. What part's true? Don't really know. So, again, I'm not saying that Moose and Cowherd are completely making this up. Like, this is not, that would be farcical. Like, not going to throw those daggers out there. But, I mean, with media layoffs coming fast and furious, some of the big media companies trimming some fat, is there more pressure than usual to get ratings and get buzz? Absolutely. Like, what was the most buzzed about the sports story today? That, right? Who were the heroes? Cowherd and Moose. Cool. But also, since those are the facts, that everyone's being cut, would you maybe run with an uncredible single source and treat it like it was a well sussed out, reliable source story with journalistic integrity as opposed to not? Maybe. Again, not saying that you're making things up out of whole cloth, but would you potentially run with something that's a little bit thinly sourced, a little bit salacious, a little bit out there? Yeah, you probably would. Hell, we would too. Shoot. And also, By the way, if you're going to make up a rumor and go with a flimsy source, OBJ being unhappy and wanting to be traded is a pretty good one. It is pretty good to go. Again, could it be an agent trying to drum up a market, get the ball going on that? They would be doing their job. I mean, come and get him would make sense. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if OBJ eventually is traded for probably more trade compensation the Vikings are doing right now, or we're rumored to be doing. So, by the way, people were comparing this to the Diggs trade. This is not even comparable. I mean, it's just a false comparison, right? Because there was Diggs rumors there was legit smoke for 7 to 8 months. Everything made sense. This is a long drug out ordeal. It was really more analogous to Antonio Brown, except less toned down, like way more passive aggressive. I mean, Diggs learned a thing or two in Minnesota here, but I mean, this one just came out of thin air and just like landed like an atomic bomb. Like we laughed about the Brady Quinn trade, and then all of a sudden there's like legit things. So that's why I was confused when people started asking, oh, what about the OBJ trade? You mean the stupid fake one from Brady Quinn? Oh, no, you mean the fake one from Moose and Cowherd? Cool. So again, like if this, like 1%, this is going to happen. But I mean, the heart wants to believe it would be fun in a vacuum, YOLO, whatever. If you're winning, OBJ won't be a B. That's fine, right? But my head says that there is not enough tangible, credible evidence that says that there's actually anything there at this point. I mean, that could certainly change, but as of right now, probably fiction. But your thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, below us up in the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. Until next time, Skol, production value.